So 2 hours ago, I just saw Men in Black 3. And it was not that great a movie. It was really, really just not funny in any kind of way. At all. Like, there are some scenes where I can tell they want to be funny, and it is a comedy, at least they advertise this one, but it wasn't at all funny. It wasn't at all, like, the drama fell flat when they attempted it at all, and it was just a very poorly filmed movie. I mean, there's no real better way to put it. It had a kick-ass soundtrack, but the rest of it was just lame and not fun to watch. Will Smith was kind of showing his age here. He looked interested in the paycheck. He didn't really seem that enthused to be a part of this movie. He seemed tired of it all. And that does not work for any kind of comedy movie. He seems kind of like Adam Sandler seems at times, where he just kind of wants his career to die so that he can go back so that he can just be a normal person. And that has really not been working out, and that really is to the detriment to this movie. Like, the people who were clearly, like, caring about this movie were the people who played Agent O, who is a character they introduced in this movie, and the younger, like, Agent K. Like, the people new to this movie cared about it, to some extent. Like, but the older actors seemed like to have given up on their careers. Like, well, not their careers, but they just seemed tired and seemed to be more there for contractual obligations, because everything's gotta be a trilogy eventually. And why did this movie need to exist? I mean, the second one was so bad. Like, I could go on for like an hour about the second movie and all of its ridiculous failings as a movie. I'll probably do that because I don't know. My pain is amusing. But this movie, well, it wasn't as bad as the second movie because the second movie was shit. But oh wait, my mom's probably gonna see this movie. Whatever. Yeah, like, the second movie was bad. The third movie was meh. It was those noises I make when people say something and I just don't care. It was boring. It was hackneyed. It had, like, no originality. Well, no. It didn't. Thought there may have been, but no. Didn't really try to play up the time travel angle when that could have been like the thing that saved the movie. The fact that the time travel worked. But the time travel comedy just is so lame. I think they made one historical joke when they go and see Andy Warhol, and it turns out that he really doesn't care about all this. Like, he thinks all this art shit is awful that he's doing and stuff like that. And it wasn't really funny because I didn't get where they were going with it, but it was a joke about the fact that they had gone back in time, and I'm Italian. Yeah, and that just wasn't... They didn't use it. They could have used it in any way, and it would have improved the movie just slightly. But no. They didn't even bother attempting to, like, work the time travel in as anything other, well, as anything. There was no joke because of it. There was no, like, the changes they made to the timeline never really come up at the end of the movie. I mean, of course, the movie ends pretty soon after the plot ends, which is good. Because the movie already... One thing I can say nice about the movie, it didn't outstay its welcome. it was maybe 90 minutes if it tried. But that was good. I did not want to have to sit through... If this was a 2-hour movie, I would hate it, because it was already really boring. And 2 hours of that shit would have been awful. And so, I think, don't watch it. Just don't watch it. And don't watch it. Don't watch it. I tell you again, but if you didn't get the message the first 5 times, if you didn't get the message the first 5 times, you're not going to get it. So yeah, it was terrible, awful, meh. Probably pretty good. The people with me liked it.